33 days until this election, and Governor Mike Pence joins us on the phone post the vice presidential debate. Good morning to you, Governor. Thank you for joining us. Oh, actually, he's live in front of his bus.
He's out in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
We're so glad. We're happy to see you. What did you think of the debate? What was your reaction?
Well, I was honored to be there, and you thought it was a good debate. Some people think I won, but from where I sat, I think Donald Trump won. I think Donald Trump's vision to make America great again really carried the day, and to be able to be there representing him, telling about his vision, talking about the policies that are really going to turn this country around was a great honor for me.
I got a question for you about the debate. When it started, I was kind of shocked because she had laid out the ground rules, the moderator, you know, each candidate gets 2 minutes to present their side. But during your first 2 minutes, you got Governor Kane interrupting, and then he interrupted you 70 other times. Were you as surprised as a lot of people were that he was doing that?
Well, not really. I mean, you know, in NASCAR, they say rubbing is racing. And, you know, this is a very challenging time in the life of our nation. And I fully expected sparks to fly in that debate. But for me to be able to be there and not only communicate Donald Trump's vision to make America great again, but also I wanted to make sure that people understood the choice here. I mean, with Donald Trump and I, we've got an economic plan to get jobs in this country that's based on cutting taxes, repealing Obamacare, ending the war on coal. And for me, it was a great opportunity to lay out that Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine are planning to raise taxes by $1 trillion. They want to expand Obamacare, continue the war on American energy. And that kind of contrast, I think, naturally created a certain amount of friction. But hopefully people came away with a much better idea about our vision for America's future and their plans to continue the failed policies of this administration.
So when they came out with personal things about stuff Donald Trump said about Rosie O'Donnell or Miss Universe, and he had some quotes, you kind of moved past it. Would you encourage Donald Trump to do the same thing on Sunday?
Well, I'd encourage Donald Trump to do what he did in the first debate, and that is be himself. Speak from his mind and speak from his heart, and I know he's going to do that. Son, I know he'll be ready for this coming Sunday night. I remember that Commander-in-Chief forum that he did such an outstanding job in a few weeks ago. He really does a great job, particularly in a town hall setting. I think the reason why you see these enormous crowds rallying around Donald Trump, enormous crowds yesterday out west, is because he's made a real connection with everyday Americans. And so my advice to him for Sunday night is what it was before the last debate, and that is go out, be yourself, and share that vision for how we're going to make America great again. And he'll have another great night.
Governor, Hillary Clinton has been out on the campaign trail. She's been talking about how great Obamacare is, despite, you know, premiums going up and forcing people to be a part of this and people not being able to keep their doctor. Bill Clinton was on the campaign trail, and he was saying just the opposite of his wife about Obamacare. Listen to this, and we'll get your reaction.
So you've got this crazy system where all of a sudden 25 million more people have health care, and then the people are out there busting it sometimes 60 hours a week, wind up with their premiums doubled and their coverage cut in half. It's the craziest thing in the world.
What was your reaction?
Well, sometimes with the Clintons, even the truth happens. And Bill Clinton said what millions of Americans have known for years, and that is we need to repeal Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel. Donald Trump and I are committed to doing that. We're committed to working to re-elect Republican leadership in the House and Senate that will start over with the kind of health care reform that focuses on lowering the cost of health insurance, not growing the size of government. But I mean, for Bill Clinton to point out that this is a crazy plan that has resulted in premiums skyrocketing around the country and people literally not being able to keep the insurance they like, not being able to keep the doctor they like, I think it represents an extraordinary moment of candor. But it's a great contribution to Donald Trump's message that we've got to repeal Obamacare, and we'll do that once he arrives in the Oval Office.
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Clinton. The eyes of the nation are on Florida and South Carolina and Georgia as we look to this big hurricane making landfall. There's an item in Politico today, Governor, that says that Hillary Clinton's team is buying $63,000 worth of airtime on the Weather Channel to capitalize on all the people who will be tuning in. And it talks about how that could be a risky proposition given the dynamics of what happens. What do you think about that?
Well, I have no opinion on these political decisions that are made. Our hearts and our prayers go out to the people of Florida as Hurricane Matthew approaches, and frankly the loss of life in Haiti and across the Caribbean is so grievous to us. I know Governor Rick Scott well. He's a great leader. I know he and our other governors up the eastern seaboard are preparing for a tough several days, and I think every American should keep them in our hearts, in our prayers, and also look for ways to support efforts like the Red Cross that I know are going to be called upon to come alongside these communities and families.
Governor, I got 25 more questions for you, but evidently the bus driver right behind you is going to start honking his horn if I do ask any more questions. I guess you got to hit the road. Thanks so much. I know, congratulations. I know at least you can exhale now because one of the biggest moments of your career took place, and most everyone agrees you did quite well. Governor, thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.